Hey, the Berry is bringing you something slightly different than usual. It's been 2 weeks since my last video, but Riot has a week off because of Thanksgiving. So there is going to be no champion tier list this time. It's going to be an item tier list, going through some of the items that have been introduced into the game, and some of the ones that are still in the game, and where they kind of rank in terms of the support list. Thought it'd be kind of fun to do. Do let me know how far you think I am right or wrong with this tier list. First, we're going to be starting off with actually something that has been changed for Season 12, and that is the Abyssal Mask. So Abyssal Mask got changed, if you're not aware. It made it so that it has less magic resistance on the item, but when you're near enemy champions, you steal their magic resistance up to 20, and you can do that to multiple people. So in a big team fight, you could be taking away like 80 magic resistance. So it's like, it gives your AP carries basically free magic penetration. This is pretty useful if the enemy team hasn't got tanks, and if you have a team running a couple of mages. They would actually really benefit from having one of these on your team. So I'm actually going to put this in a secret A tier. Very useful, actually, and I personally don't probably pick this up enough. This is a tank item, by the way, just in case anyone gets confused. Another item that no one knows how to actually pronounce, Anathemia's Chains. It's got a lot of HP on. It allows you to crowd control someone on the enemy team a little bit longer. Overall, because of it has no resistance stats on, and it's not too awkward to buy. It's just an okay item. It's very, very situational if you need to lock down like one person on the enemy team, but because of the lack of resistances, you're still actually kind of squishy as a tank. So C tier. Art change your staff. I'm gonna put this straight into D. Some people pick this up on Sona. I do not recommend this at all. Yeah, don't buy this. No, Seraphs, no. Ardent Censer. Ooh. Very situational. You can have a few situations where it is useful. Say you're playing like with a hyper carry, like a Vayne. Ooh. Let's put it around about in the. We'll put it in the B for now, but I'm very tempted to put it down to C. Like, in terms of actual usage, you don't usually get to. I'm gonna put it in C. You don't usually get to pick it up that often. Usually you're prioritizing the other items, but it's not a terrible item. It's just there's just actually better support items than this one if you're an enchanter. Axiom Arc, I think it's called. Generally pretty bad overall. Pike and Senna can use this item. Nobody else really can. Round about in the C or D tier. Let's put it on C for now. I haven't really got that much experience with the item, if I'm going to be completely honest. So I'm going to put it in a safe C tier. Yeah. Banshee spell, D. Don't buy that at all. Black Reaver. The only champion that can actually buy the Black Cleaver is a Senna, and even then you rarely pick it up as a utility in terms of like trying to take off the armor off the enemy tanks. So D tier. The 80 carry gold generating item, yeah, we'll put that up in S. It's pretty mandatory to pick that one up. Bulwark though, even though it is mandatory in a lot of champions, I'm actually just going to put it into A just because of how tilting it is to get the stack sometimes. Yeah, there's some games where you're left on like you don't actually get to complete this item until like 20 minutes into the game. So, well, mandatory, so it goes up quite high, but I prefer like the Spell Thieves equivalent, which is what this AD item is at the top. I forget what it's called. It's like a scythe or something. Black Mist Scythe, maybe? I can't remember. You've got the Grievous Wounds item here for ADs. It is pretty good on Senna, but that's about it. So we're going to put it in C because you would probably want to pick this up if you are playing Senna. But yeah, you don't need it on anyone else, really. Chem Tech, godly OP. You're going to need that in the majority of your games if you're playing an Enchanter. The amount of Grievous Wounds that takes off and healing mitigation is way too high. So yeah, mandatory on second item enchanters most of the time. Control Wards S. If you're not buying Control Wards, you're trying. Cosmic, I can't remember what it's called. Speedy item. No, you're not going to be really picking that item up at all. New mythic Crown of the Shattered Queen. I believe this is actually getting nerfed next patch, but it is very, very strong. I'm going to put it in B. On some mages, you may want to pick this up if you're playing Zyra, Brand, Xerath, and you're up against a lot of mages. It could actually be a decent mythic option. Otherwise, some of the other options like Leandri's is going to be better here. Speedy tank item, what's it called? Bulwark or something? Oh, I can't remember some of these. I can't remember some of these items. Generally D tier now. It's not that great. Wow, I can't even remember what this item's even called. Wow, my mind is going blank. It's the item that you take less damage over time, but if you get a takedown, the damage that you had taken stops. But you're not going to be taking that on anyone. Why can't I remember the item? Help me, chat. In the comments section down below, let me know what this item is. I've completely forgotten. It's gonna like blow my mind when I hear it again, because I used to pick it up quite often. Demonic Embrace, very, very good on mages. On stuff like Brand and Zyra can be very, very good. So I'm gonna put it high up into the A tier. Sundra, we're gonna put down into the. I mean, Senna can pick this up. She's the only one really, but we're gonna put that in D. Duskar, Pike only item, or Senna. You can maybe pick this up on Senna actually. Let's put this in C. It's quite decent. The invisibility, the eclipse as well. Can do it on Senna or Pike, but put it on C. Those are kind of like okay items. Right, what else we got here? We've got the Banshee's Veil equivalent of the lethality, which is quite good on Pike and Senna. Let's see, put that on C, I think. Just for those two champions, obviously, if you're not playing like enchanters or whatever, or tanks, those lethality items are just going to be straight into the D tier. Essence Reaver. I don't recall anyone picking this up. I'm not even sure if Senna even picked this up, so I'm just going to put this in not support. Even Shroud is actually OP right now. That is definitely getting nerfed soon. Even Shroud on tanks is absolutely disgustingly OP right now. The amount of extra damage you're doing in a game for your teammates is way too high. For some reason, we've got two Everfrost here. The only champion that I know of that picks that up as support is Ari support. So just for that reason, I'm just going to put in not support. I don't know why there's two of them there. The new Fimbulwinter item, I don't think it's that good. I actually don't think it's that good. I don't think it's worth picking up on any tank, honestly. I think it's actually pretty bad, apart from maybe Tark. So for that reason, we're going to put it in D. Force of Nature, I don't recall any tank supports taking this item. We're going to put this in the not support. The item where it procs and leaves a frozen circle on the ground. Frozen Gauntlet, is that right? Must be. It's a gauntlet and it looks frozen. Frozen Gauntlet, does anyone actually pick that up? No. Frozen Heart, we're going to put in the D tier. Be like super low priority in order to actually buy that item. There are just way better priority items to go for. Gale Force, no. Stone Plate, it's actually got really like decent stats on, but it's once again so expensive and you can't really get to buy it, so I'm just generally going to put it in the not support tier. Yeah, the whip thing, nope. GA, nope. Rageblade, Senna could sometimes pick this up, but overall, let's just put it in not. Proto Belt. I mean, Nico support might want this, but who's paying Nico support? Let's put that in the not support tier. Some AP items pick up this Horizon Focus. We'll put that in the B tier. It does reasonably okay. Yumi sometimes picks this up as well in the AP build. It's not garbage. It's alright. Hullbreaker, nope. Shield Bow, nope. Okay, Imperial Mandate. So the only champion I'm aware of that uses this properly is Nami. So for Nami, it's like S tier. But for all the other enchanters, it's like maybe B tier. So do we put it in A to kind of like balance that out? Or do we just put it in the B tier and just say, look, for Nami, just S tier? I think we put it in B tier. But for Nami, that's S tier. For everyone else, it's actually B. Infinity Edge, not support. Alright, these CDR boots are actually S tier. They're cheap. You get lots of cooldown reduction, lots more cooldown reduction on your flash as well, so you can get out of situations or you can engage in situations much easier. Top tier item. Knight's Vow. This item got changed this season to mitigate less damage at the start, but more when they're on lower HP. Also, you get healed when your AD carry or whoever you've got this attached to does damage. Overall, there's some better prioritizing and items, but if you don't need like a Thornmail to mitigate on your second item, maybe you could go Knight's Vow, second item. Gonna put this in the B tier. I don't think it's like that overall that great, but it's not terrible. So it's right. It's okay. I mean, maybe it could go into C there for that, but considering the other tank options, it is better than some of the other tank options, like a Stone Plate, for example, because that's just too expensive. So yeah, we'll put Knight's Vow in B. Kraken Slayer. Senna might pick that up sometimes, but not support really. Let's go into Leandry's is A tier for mages. Brand, Zyra. You can pick this up on like a couple of other mage supports as well. Very, very good. Very, very good. Easy item to just proc off and you'll be top on damage every time with that. Lich Bane, nope. Now Locket of the Iron Solari used to be the best item for tanks. Now Even Shroud's kind of taken over. I mean, like Even Shroud is like way better than Locket, but like Locket is still pretty good. So I'm gonna put in A. It'd be interesting when they nerf Even Shroud, which one to like potentially take here. But Locket is at the moment like it's good. It's just Even Shroud is just better. Nope. Armor penetration for Marksman. Ludens. Oh, on some champions like on Xerath it's quite good, or Vel'Koz, but sometimes Leandry's overall generally trumps. So I'm just gonna put in A. I think it's a really good item still, but it's not as good as Ludens. The same kind of thing with Locket versus like Even Shroud. Man Immune, Senna could maybe pick that up, but nope. More Senna could maybe pick that up, so could Pike, but not really, no. Magi-Eyes, we're putting D tier, don't get baited into getting stacks. Like the only person there is like maybe like Yuumi, but even then it's like, I don't know, it's cursed. As soon as you buy this item, you die. Merc Scimitar, you could make an argument for that for Pike and Senna. I'm gonna put it there for Pike and Senna in the D tier against like Malzahar and Mordekaiser to get out of their suppressions or out of some crowd control. It's not like the worst thing that you could do, but it's still not great. So we're gonna put it in the D tier. Michael's, I actually don't like this item. It gives you a cleanse for your carry. But overall, I find it not very useful in solo queue. I'm gonna put it in C. Like it's not. You can in some cases get some decent usage out of it. Say if the enemy team only had like an Ash Arrow to engage, then the Michaels can be a good item to like get out of that. But apart from like that, in the middle of team fights, like it does okay-ish, but it's like at the same time, it's like it feels kind of horrible to get. Like rather than like having like a redemption or something, or like prioritizing the chem tech. So I don't know. My car this isn't like super bad. It's just okay. It's just an okay item. Moby Boots, A tier, roaming around on a tank. I think it's got high potential. I think the CDR boots overall are just better. Redemption, not redemption. Sorry, that is Moonstone Pendant. Yeah, that's S tier on a lot of enchanters. Like Soraka and Sona and stuff like that. Yeah, let's put it in the S tier. Very good on a lot of different enchanters. Morello. Chemtech is stronger overall just because it's easier to apply to multiple people. Morello on AP mages is sometimes like necessary, but it's like a necessary evil because you'd rather have like the demonic embrace. So I'm gonna put it in B. Yeah, you'd rather have like the demonic embrace. It always feels bad having to go Morello, so I'm gonna put it in B. Grievous Wounds item for Senna, but the Chemtech sword's actually better, so I'm gonna put it in the not support. What's this? This isn't Wit's End. This is Nash's Tooth. Does anyone take Nash's Tooth? The only thing I can think of is like on hit Nico. Let's just put it in not support. I can't think of anything that would use that. Or that item that I can't remember the name of. Why have I forgotten the name of this item here? I'm gonna have to might revisit it because like my brain literally can't remember what this item even is. Not sure. What is the item? That's gonna drive me nuts. What is that? First I was gonna say like Essence Reaver, but that's Essence Reaver. What is this item? I might actually quickly check what that item is. What is it? It is. What is it? 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 Nearly there, nearly there. It is a, what we are, it's a Night Harvester. Of course it's a Night Harvester. How can I not recognize the Night Harvester? I used to take this item a few times on like Morgana and stuff. I think overall it's like a D tier still. But like you could, I don't know, maybe Night Harvester Morgana will make a comeback one day. But yeah, wow, I completely forgot that was Night Harvester. My bad. Alright, support item here. It is the AD equivalent of Relic Shield. Same kind of like case, we'll put it right next to it. There. Phantom Dancer, nope. Steel Caps on tanks. Generally pretty good. Pretty good option. I'm gonna put in A. Yeah, generally a pretty stable option if you're a tank support if you don't want to go cooldown reduction boots. This bunky dagger thingy. I mean, Pike might pick this up occasionally, but no. Death Cap, D. Like in a situation where you're a support and you have enough money to buy a Death Cap, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Random's Omen, D tier, pretty crap item overall, honestly. Rapid Fire Cannon, Senna might pick this up, but overall, just, I mean, we'll put it in D for Senna. But everything else is always not a support. Hydra, nope. Redemption, okay, Redemption is a really interesting item because I think it is between S and A, somewhere like around here. Chemtech is better because you have to prioritize that a lot more. But if you don't need Grievous Wounds for whatever reason, then Redemption 2nd is really good. We're gonna put it in A. I'm gonna put it in A. I think it's really good though. It might be like number 1 in A or like 2nd in A because of the Abyssal Mask, but they're both like up there for sure. Riftmaker, no. Hurricane, no. Rylai's is a trap. Don't go Rylai's. It's a trap. Don't put it in D. Brand might be like the only person that might utilize this, but even then it feels really bad doing it on Brand. Ever since, was it Leandries that used to do more damage if the target was crowd controlled or slowed? So like Rylai's combo with that used to be a thing, but not anymore. So don't go Rylai's. Zyra, so right there. That's back in the D. Lethality item for Pike, we'll just put it in D, and Senna can maybe use this item as well. Armor penetration, nope. Shadow Flame. So this item actually is not that bad if you've got a lot of squishies on the enemy team and you're playing like Brand or something like that, or Zyra. I don't think it's good as Leandries though, but I actually think it's pretty strong, so I'm gonna put it in A. That linked up with like the sock shoes is actually pretty nice. So yeah, I think Shadow Flame's actually decent at the moment on mages that don't have to play against tanks basically. This is my favorite support item. It's both these. Love it. Shirley's is good. Shirley's is good. We're gonna put that in A tier. I think it's A on a lot of different supports like Lulu, Karma. Sona can use it too if she wants to instead of the Moonstone. I think she's a very good support enchanter item. Mace thingy that looks like Mordekaiser. Can't even remember what it even does. Put it in there. Not support. Sork shoes S tier for mages, mandatory. Spirit Visage, like this could be useful on Tarek because of the healing that he does, and he's kind of frontline tanking, but overall kind of meh. But I'm gonna put it in D tier. Staff of Flowing Water, D. That item is absolutely shockingly bad now. That needs an urgent look at. Sterix, D. Not even D. Not support item. Not support item. Not support item. Sunfire Cape, D tier, too expensive for a tank to actually purchase when like stuff like Even Shroud and Locket are around. So yeah, this Sunfire Cape for supports is actually really, really bad. The Collector, not support item. Thornmail, S tier, absolutely mandatory on a lot of supports. Yeah, on tank supports that is. So if you're paying a tank support, odds are you're buying a Thornmail in 99% of your games. Second item. It's just way too good. Hydra, again, nope. Let me try and see if I can shuffle it down a little bit. We've got a Trinity Force here, nope. Now this chem tank got buffed, but I haven't really seen much use out of it. I don't think it's a terrible mythic, but Even Shroud is just better. So unless like you're doing incredibly amounts of like huge amounts of roaming, maybe with a Predator buff or something, then maybe you can consider this. But otherwise, it's like a C tier item. Oh, this is a really good item. I'm gonna put this in like A tier. Just because of Pike and Senna can just clear out wards so efficiently with this, is it called Umbral I think it is called. I forget some of the item names. But yeah, you can clear out wards with 1 hit, control wards with 2 hits with that item. It's really, really good, especially when you pair it up with Zombie Ward. Controversial item, Wardstone. I'm gonna put it in B. I think it's actually like not that bad. Definitely it's like a last item slot or nearly last item slot, and you still won't need the control wards in. Pretty good when you need 2 control wards around this the Baron objective and stuff, and no one else on your team can like hold control wards. So yeah, overall B tier. You will eventually have to buy it on a support if the game does go on that long. So yeah, I think it's decent. Void Staff is a B tier as well for mages. It's okay. Hopefully you're not being forced to buy it too early, but yeah, overall I don't think it's too amazing. Warmogs, D tier. The new support item we've already established is a in the D tier. I think it's pretty bad, honestly. And then we've got Wit's End, which isn't support. D tier for that one, or C tier for Pike. But everything else this isn't viable for. Is it? I can't remember what it's called. Speedy the Valley item. Zeke's is really bad. Do not buy Zeke's. It hasn't got changed at all. Zeke's is still garbage tank item. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see everything here. And then finally we have Zhonya's. Now Zhonya's is B tier. Sometimes you just need to buy it when you're up against assassin junglers. And some like Karthus ulti you might need to mitigate and stuff like that as well. So sometimes you will have to pick up a Zhonya's on an Enchanter or a Mage. It just depends on the game and how fed people are and stuff. Usually you're buying it if you're like far behind though, as like a second item, which always feels bad, but it's generally worth doing overall. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the season 12 item support tier list. So just to clarify, there are a couple of things that could happen to some of these items over the next couple of patches. There's Even Shroud is looking to get nerfed, but I still think it's going to be pretty strong. I think if it gets nerfed, it'd be on par with Locket, which rather than bringing Even Shroud down, it could just bring Locket like back up to like S. But at the moment, the Even Shroud is better. Anything crazy else there? Not really. I mean, items that I would like to see buffed. It's Fimbulwinter. I don't think it's that great still. And Zeke's I would like to see buffed as well. I mean, Zeke's has been needing a massive buff for a really long time. Oh yeah, and Staff of Flowing Water. Like those 3 items in particular, it would be great to see them like tuned better, to bring them up to kind of standard of like at least like the situational kind of item tier. Rather than just being like absolute like no buys. And the Knight's Vow has got like a respectable like B position there. It's not like the worst item in the world. It's alright. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. Something different. And next week, next Tuesday, I'll have an actual support tier list for you for the next patch. Take care guys, all the best, and stay very awesome.